All right, thank you, Picante Pete. I'm Justin, and this is Just in Time. All right, so today we are going to do the last half of Series 1.5, where we're going to take 3 of these live action figures and we're going to sketch them without actually tracing them. We're going to sketch them on the side here and see if we can't do it. These are going to be a little bit more tough than the ones we did last week. So let's get started. So she's doing an extreme turn here, an extreme twist. So really that's the motion that we're going to be looking for. Her hands are clasped around this golf club, and so we don't want to make sure that we're getting those hands drawn correctly as well. So we'll just kind of piece it out one step at a time. We're going to start with the head, and so let me come over here. And let's get this head started. I'm going to make my character a little bit bigger than this one, just so it's easier to see. And actually, let me get the right paintbrush. There we go. It's better for sketching. All right, so there we have her face. We're going to be drawing about this angle. So I'm gonna just kind of give it a little bit more of an angle there and draw her eyes and her nose. All right, so there is our head. Now, what do we see here? We see that we've got kind of like her chest is actually going pretty much sideways, and her shoulders are up. So we're really not going to see much of the neck. I'm going to draw the neck anyways, just for now. We're probably going to get rid of it. Actually, let me move that over just a little. There we go. But anyways, let's draw her chest. We'll draw her shoulders in a moment. And like I said, this is going to be pretty much sideways. I think that's about right. Now we know that let's go with her torso. Her torso is coming down. This is where her body starts to turn toward us, okay? But we're just drawing the torso. And we're going to keep it in line with the neck. Okay, so let's end it about right there for now. And then let's go ahead and get these shoulders done. So the shoulders we know are raised, so that's why we're not seeing much of her neck in the real photo. All right, now it looks like we would probably see, because if you were to turn her to the side, her chest is kind of going up at this angle. It's not just straight across like the way we have it. So I am going to bring that. In fact, let's just get rid of her shoulder for now so we can see what we're doing. There we go. Okay, so we're going to see a little bit of the top portion of that chest, and that's, I think, a little bit better of a representation of what we're seeing here. All right, so now we've got her shoulders. They're up. Her other shoulder would be up as well. We're not going to see much of it because it's behind her head. All right. Now we're coming almost straight up into this elbow. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And remember, I like to kind of curve my arms just ever so slightly, just to give it a little bit more motion. This one's coming out a little bit more to the right. And I'll probably do it about right there. All right, starting to look like we've got a character that's beginning to swing something. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring this. Yeah, I guess that's. Let me change that angle on that a little bit. It was a little bit too much of an angle. All right, I think I like that better. And then the other one, now notice they're pretty much in line with each other here. So, and why is that? Is this arm longer than this one? No, it's just that this one is bending away from us, and so it looks like the arm is shorter. It's just that the arm is bending away, so we're seeing less of that forearm. All right, so let's look at these hands because they could be a little bit more confusing for some. Let me get rid of some of this mess. So what do we have here? We're not going to work with the fingers right now. We're just working with the square of the hand. So we know that we've got her, knuckles and her thumb, but this is what we're going to be drawing, and it looks like it's facing directly toward us, so it's not going to really be much three-dimension going on. We also know that we have this shape over here. This one's coming at a little bit of an angle, so I would probably do something to this effect. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's translate that over here. Clean some stuff up. All right, so what do we got? Let's do this for, let's do the back one first. That one's easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it like that. We'll draw the wrist. Get rid of these little wavy lines. And then we'll go ahead and make this a little bit more on the three-dimensional side. All right, so there we go. We've got the arms, we've got the upper portion of the body, and let's go ahead and get started on these hips. Now the hips are facing toward us just slightly. So it's going to be kind of more of like that angle. Probably something to that effect. All right, so we'll go ahead and get that going. I think one of my favorite things that we see with when I'm drawing with like the human figure is when the body is like twisting. It's just something about it that just is pretty cool to me. There's just so much motion in it, All right, let's draw these ball joints for the hips. And then we're going to go ahead and we'll start with this leg that's facing toward us. And remember, the leg isn't really doing much as far as bending as much as it is pivoting, and that's where we get a lot of this motion in this character right now, is the pivoting portion of it. And I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to redo it. There we go. Remember to keep that knee nice and large, almost the size of her ball joint up here for the hip. This one is going to be bending a little bit more this way. All right, I think I'm going to change this just a little bit though. I want a little bit more motion. I feel like it could probably go back a little bit more than the way that I had it. All right, so there we go. I think that's good. And then we're going to go ahead and draw this calf coming down. We'll draw the ankle. Oh, we're getting to the end of this picture quick. And let's see, where do her ankles... This one's up a little higher, so I'm going to go ahead and do it about that motion there. The reason being, she's actually, obviously bending her knee, and her foot is bent right here on the ground, whereas this one's just laying straight, almost toward us exactly. So let's go ahead and get this foot done first. This will be the easier one. We are going to see a little bit of that square, the side of it, okay? And then we'll go ahead and I think that looks pretty good. This foot is going away from us, so it's going to look like it's shrinking a skosh. And you know, she's kind of got it going up just a little like that. That definitely does help. All right, so there we go. We've got that foot. This one, we're going to see a little bit of the side of that square. Let me clean up that circle just a little bit for the ankle. It's getting a little messy. All right, and then we're just going to go down. Now remember, right where she's bending, that's where her toes are. So we don't really need to worry about that bend where we're seeing the foot bending onto the grass. All we have to worry about is this main portion right here. We'll worry about the toes in the next series. All right, so I'm going to clean it up a little bit for you. We'll pull back and we'll see if we got something that's close to what we're seeing on the left here. But I think it is. I think it's pretty darn close. And if we were to draw that golf club, hello, that looks pretty good. I think we've got a good image of a golfer here. Something that I think that most of you probably didn't think you could ever do, as far as you know, getting this this type of action pose. But you know, it could always be done better. We could take a little bit more time with it. But I think overall we've got the idea that it's just not that hard to get the stickman shape in a position that we need in order to draw a good looking golfer swing. So let's go ahead and get to the second page here. Again, this is a man running, and what I like about running is especially if you're doing like comic books or, you know, anything like that, you're going to be dealing with a lot of pictures with your characters running. So it's always good to get really comfortable with the idea of drawing your characters in running motion. And this is a really good picture right here. You'll probably be doing a lot of pictures like this. So let's start. All right, I think the biggest things that I see that may be potentially issues would be this hand. Just because it's facing toward us, it can maybe be a little bit scary for some. And then the fact that we got this leg that's kind of disappearing behind itself. But I'm gonna show you how we can do this, and it's not going to be very hard at all. So let's just, again, start with the head. You can start with that circle, and everything just starts, the fears just start to go away. The anxieties of drawing a human being and all the bends of the body just start to go away. So let's start with the head. We won't worry about the worried look on his face. Or maybe that's just the face of concentration. I don't know, but he looks kind of worried. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw the neck. And we'll see that this chest is at a bit of a slant. Okay. Those little slants, those little turns, really pay attention to them. Because that's what really gives your character that body motion that you're looking for. All right, so his hips are going to be relatively straight. His leg is coming up, but his hips are relatively straight down. I'll probably go like that. Like that. I'm not going to give him much 3-dimension to his hips. I don't think that he needs it. Get the ball joints for the hips. Let's stop going down in the leg area, but let's work on these shoulders. The shoulders are hanging. They're not going up, so we'll just draw them normal. And let's go ahead and get rid of the parts we don't need. Awesome. So right now, not a lot of motion going on. This is mostly just his arms and legs that we're going to be seeing doing all the motion. All right, I'm going to give him his upper arm here with his elbow. The other one is going back a little bit more, and I would say probably to about this position. If we could just draw that line down, but I do want to erase it so that it looks like it's behind his chest. All right, and then this one just kind of comes, it just kind of jets out this way. Give him his wrist for now. I am going to make sure that that arm is within the ball joint there. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw this one down about that. Now we're not going to see a lot of his arm because it's coming directly toward us. And let's go ahead and draw that ball joint for his wrist. All right, so this one is not too hard. It's coming out toward us like this. Give it a little 3-dimension. And then this one, like I said, it's coming out toward us, but it's really not that scary. Get rid of the fingers. Get rid of the thumb. And just give him ever so slightly some 3-dimension in that hand. And we have what we need. All right, so let me clean that up. Awesome. Now we're going to come down here and we're going to start with this back leg. I think that's going to be the easier one. It is going a little bit away from us, but it is going straight down. I put it out at an angle. I don't know why. Just pretend you didn't see that. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give him that straight down leg. Give him his knee. And then instead of trying to draw a line, I think that's where a lot of people make the mistake. You draw a line, you start trying to draw this like calf, and you get all these weird twists and angles that just really like throw the leg off. Instead of drawing the leg, let's realize that yes, we have an ankle that's back here, and so let's draw the ankle. Then let's draw the leg. And then that just made life a whole lot easier. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw this one now. He's coming out towards us. It's kind of pivoting a little bit. What do we have here? The knee is higher than this knee. So if I drew the knee down here, it would look weird, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to draw the knee up a little bit. This leg is coming out toward us. I'm going to go about right there. And I already can tell you what you're telling me, which is these knees are way too small. I preach and preach and preach, and then I just don't walk my talk. All right, there we go. I like that. Now we're going to go ahead and bring that calf down. And we're going to go ahead and draw the ankle. All right. Now we're talking. I don't know about you, but my character looks like he's running. Bring those hips out a little bit. All right, so now what I want to do is let's just start with this foot here. I think that's going to be the easier one. We're seeing a little bit of the top of the back of the foot here, this box. And then we're going to go ahead and draw this area here and give that little ramp area. There we go. I think that looks decent. All right, so now what do we have here? We're going to see a little bit of the right side of that box. The foot's coming up toward us. So I'm going to put it about right there, and then just draw the ramp. So we're seeing a little bit of the bottom of that foot, or the ramp at least. right, I think that does it. Let's bring it back, and yeah, I think I've got a character that's running and got a good pace. You can tell he's not running too crazy fast, but he's keeping his jog up. Probably doing a marathon of some sort, so he's conserving his energy. He's not trying to sprint. But anyhow, I think that looks pretty good. Let's go to the third drawing here, and this is a girl doing yoga. And so even though she's got a lot of bends going on, I don't think this one's going to be all that tough either. It looks tough, but like I've been telling you, most of the drawings that we're doing, we're realizing that these characters, once you start having like kind of like an idea of where you start, an attack plan on drawing these characters, you realize it's just not as hard as it seems. Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's draw this person. Let's get her head first. She's looking up. So we're just going to draw one eye. All right, so there you go. Now her neck is probably about as much arched back as you can get. And her chest is going to be just about here. If you were to put this chest directly vertical, it would look like she's looking up at the stars, right? All right, so now, keeping in line with the neck, we're going to turn this, we're going to arch this back. And let's do it like that. And then we'll go ahead and erase this. All right, so we'll worry about her hips in a second. Let's do these shoulders. Now the shoulders are just nice and normal. They're not going up. The arms are going down, but down at just a slight angle. And I'll probably give her elbows about right here. Now we are seeing the other arm behind. Okay. And like that would be if the line is just going, straight up. But sometimes I get lazy and I just don't want to have to draw the rest of that. I did do this one just a teeny bit lighter so we know what we're looking at. We are going down again at the same, this is like one straight line just going down. And then we're going to go ahead and draw her wrists. Okay, now her other wrist is, because we're looking kind of, it looks like we're completely sideways, but there is a little bit of an angle here. Okay, so let's draw her wrist a little bit higher. And then because she's resting her hands on the ground, we would see these wrists or these hands cocked directly to the right. All right, so there you have it. Now we're going to go ahead and draw the side of the T for this these hips. That looks about right. Notice how I keep growing it. My initial, I always fight myself because I want to draw this like little narrow T, and we're drawing hips. It's not going to be narrow. All right, so, and hers definitely are not narrow, but a lot of this is body fat. And so we're going to work with that later, but for now we're just drawing the kind of the skeletal, stickman skeletal notion of her hips. We're not drawing any of her muscles or fat, okay? And please don't take me wrong. Not all body fat is bad fat, but fat nonetheless. All right, so here we go. Probably what I want to do is I'm just going to draw a line because I want to keep it, well, not draw a line, but put a little ruler there because I want to keep it to where her foot is relatively in line with her hand. And so we're going to go ahead and do this, this thigh. And we'll get her, her knee right there. Let me do one thing because I want to make sure I'm not snapping to that line. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and draw this thigh coming out, or I'm sorry, the calf coming out with her ankle. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and draw this foot. Let's might as well finish this leg. And let's draw it straight. Now, one thing I am noticing is that if you were to take this foot and bring it out, it's a little bit higher. It's centered with her body, it's not in line with her hand. So what I want to do, I think what the problem is what I'm seeing is, and let's get rid of this line because I don't need it anymore. Because I know, oops. So what I'm seeing here is that probably her arm, I drew her arm just a slight skosh short. It's a little bit stubby, especially right here in the forearm. So I'm not going to change much with her foot. I'm gonna tweak these things a little bit, and that's fine. It's okay to see what you're doing and go, okay, I need to tweak some stuff a little bit here. One thing that I am seeing is a little bit of the top of her foot. So let's fix her foot up first. Let's go here, and let's pretend we're seeing about right there. So we're seeing just a slight portion of the top of her foot. Okay, I think that looks decent. Now, the other thing that I want to do is I want to extend these forearms, and so instead of doing a lot of changes there, what did I do? There we go. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit with my Photoshop program, and I'm going to bring these down like that. I think that looks a lot better. And then I'm just going to go ahead and finish the sketch by extending her forearm. So I think that looks way better. I think we got her hands and her foot in the right place. And now all we have to really worry about is this back leg. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, if you see, there's kind of like a arch going on here. So we want to keep that arch as much as we can, because that helps that motion, feeling of motion. All right. We also want to keep the knees at a nice angle here. Now, one thing I am going to also do is I'm going to correct her knee. I'm going to bring that up just a little bit higher. I felt like I drew her her thigh just a little, going a little long, and then she had a really short calf. So there you go. So you can correct yourself by seeing some of these angles, and then you can also go, oh, okay, so maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Maybe something isn't working. Maybe a leg's a little too short. Maybe a calf is a little too long. Maybe these forearms aren't the right length. So by kind of seeing the rest of the body in motion with it, you'll be able to correct stuff along the way and on the fly. All right, so now we want to bring her calf this way. And in fact, I'm going to do it probably like that. Let's see, let's clean that up. And then let's go ahead and draw this box. Now remember, we can only arch the foot so much, right? So if this is her calf, her foot is going to be going straight this way. Okay, So I think we're doing pretty well, because once you start drawing her hair and the top of her head, I think her foot is pretty much in place with where we need it to be. Now there is an arch that we're not going to be drawing, and her toes and all that. So once that's all drawn in, she would be essentially touching her head. So I'm going to leave it like that, and maybe just draw some little sketchy shadows. But I think overall, if I clean it up, I think we've got a pretty good body form here that I think mimics what we see above pretty decently. But I think when it comes to the stickman form, I think that in these two lessons we're seeing that yes, it actually does work. And this will take us to the next series, which will be series 2. We're going to start building onto the stickman, making him, her, whatever, more a little bit more dynamic. But this right here is a great start, and what it does is it just gives you the access to draw your humans in any fashion you want, in any action pose, and then you can start building on them from there, which we will learn in series 2. That is it for today. You guys have a wonderful week ahead of you. Be safe, and God bless.